different. I also wanted people to understand who the president sees as a real threat, and it is me. He also made it clear a number of times that he sees me as a leader. Those were his words, not mine. And so
she is delusional. Are you kidding me? Does she really believe what she's saying? Donald Trump thinks she's a leader? She funny. Welcome to the TMYK show. I am Mike, your host, better known as Mo. Here's where you get the truth uncut, where we call a spade a spade. Yes, today we're going to get into some Jasmine Crockett. We're going to see she just made an announcement here a few days ago that she will be running to obtain one of the Senate seats out of the state of Texas. So we're going to look at that and look at some interviews that she's been on since making that announcement and get just a feel for how her campaign might go.
About this new one they have, their new star, Crockett. How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person.
Crockett. Oh, man, oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day, she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
Yeah, she's going to bring them back. I don't even know what that was, what that represented, that little profile she just did. I don't know. That didn't really look like anybody serious to me. But whatever floats your boat. And Donald Trump has every reason in the world, justifiably so, to call her of low IQ.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we have all been waiting for. The next U.S. Senator from this great state of Texas. Please welcome to the stage, Miss Jasmine Crockett!
They open up with a song. All my life I had to fight. I've never had to fight for anything in my life. And I'm much older than her. But what did she fall for? To open up with a song like that. A woman that went to private school all of her school life. She went to private school. Her parents paid, from what I understand, about $20,000+ a year. What struggles have she seen? What fights have she been in? This girl probably ain't never had a fist fight, let alone a fight for struggle.
y'all look good. Y'all look real good. But are you fired up? Are you ready to go? All right, Texas, let's get down to it. I know y'all are ready to hear some good news, and some of y'all already heard it before you even got here. Yes, it is true. I am running to become your next United States Senator from the state of Texas. I honestly can't put into words what it means to me. You see, a lot of people think that making decisions like this, you take them lightly. I'm here to tell you that I understand that there's a responsibility. I'm not reading from my script, so they're about to be confused. There's a responsibility that lies with all of us.
Getting off to a bad start already, can't even follow instructions. You have a team of campaign leaders. They've laid this out for you. And you come out there, and the first thing you do is scrap the teleprompter and the speech they have put together for you to make. You already know more than your team. Wow, I've heard that she had problems with the people that work for her now as a congresswoman, but this is an example of what they may be dealing with working for Jasmine, full of CROCK-it.
Especially in this moment. There are a lot of people that said, you got to stay in the house. We need our voice. We need you there. And I understand. But what we need is for me to have a bigger voice. What we need is not only a voice, but we need to make sure that we are going to stop all the hell that is raining down on all of our people. So over the last couple of months, I've been thinking about our future. Where do we go from here? And obviously, I've been thinking about Texas. I thought about my classmates from law school. One is standing right up front, Mr. Anthony Farmer. I thought about the big dreams we all had, fighting for justice in the courtroom, starting our own businesses, buying a home, starting families. If you think about it, our dreams were the American dream. Opportunities for those who work hard, home ownership, jobs, entrepreneurship, and security. And that time, we were headed into the Great Recession. I took a job in East Texas for a pretty well-known family-owned law firm. I began doing class action defense work. And honestly, I wondered if I'd made a mistake. I wondered if that was really what I was supposed to be doing. It just so happened that they had just started a new public defender's office in rural East Texas. And so I decided that I would join that public defender's office. I joined it because I believed everybody deserved a voice in the courtroom. Even if they couldn't afford an attorney, one would be provided to them, and that attorney was me. I loved being a courtroom warrior. I got some judges here. They probably can't identify themselves, but nevertheless, I loved being in the courtroom. You know, I never thought that I would run for office, but some people are able to inspire others as they walk their own path. As a 27-year-old public defender walking in her path, there was someone who came along and inspired me. There was this charismatic, funny, intelligent, and exciting young candidate with a funny name who just got into the U.S. Senate and was running for president. Many doubted if this country was ready, while others, well, we got to work and kept hope alive. We didn't focus on the naysayers. We didn't get distracted by any pollsters. We remained laser focused on getting the person who was best for the job into the seat. We didn't let history diminish our hope in what was possible. We ignored that the devil on our shoulder that sometimes tries to tell us your vote doesn't matter. The country's not ready. He can't win. And responded with that timeless American creed, yes, we can. Yes, I'm talking about President Barack Obama.
And guess what America's response was after it was all said and done? No, we didn't. Barack Hussein Obama, the worst president ever.
How many no's do you think he heard before he got a yes? No, you can't win. No, the country's not ready for a black president. No, a black man can't get elected. No, your middle name is Hussein. No, you can't beat the Clinton machine. But every time they told him no, He looked them right in the eyes and he told them yes. He said, yes, we can. Yes, we can deliver on health care. Yes, we can enshrine equal rights. Yes, we can bring...
Deliver on health care. We're fighting now today behind Obamacare, something that he left. A legacy that he believed that his presidency would ride on. And right now, we're still trying to fix Obamacare. Make it make sense. And she can come out here and brag about him and what he wanted to do for us when it comes to our medical attention and our insurances.
Yes,
please.
We can bring jobs back to America, create opportunities for all, and yes, we can save the economy after a Republican president sends it into the gutter. People ran lies, rumors, and tried to poke holes in everything about Obama, from his faith to his heritage. Falsehoods about his daddy, mistruths about his mama. There was even a question about his birth certificate,
which was proven to be fake.
But he didn't let any of that get in his way. He worked and worked and worked to inspire and instill a sense of hope. And man, do I remember. I remember hoping. Now, I don't know if I really believed. But I knew that we had to try. I knew that we had the power. He turned those no, you can'ts into yes, we cans. Yes, we deserve better. Yes, we will dig deep. Yes, we can. Back then, as the housing bubble burst and the economy crashed, I saw everyone around me struggling. I saw a system that ignored them and legal system that failed them. Then I remembered Obama's words. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So many of you don't know, but I was 28 by now. And I decided that I was going to run to become the Bowie County Democratic Party chair. I was elected as the youngest Black Democratic Party chair in the history of Texas. Later, I moved to Dallas, and frustrated by the broken laws on our books, I ran for the Texas House of Representatives to be that agent of change. I took on the establishment, ran against an incumbent, and there were folks in my ear, that devil on my shoulder, that said I could not win. I was being outspent 5-1. And even those that said I had to be less of myself, I tuned that noise out. And even though I was outspent, I was never outworked. When I look across this room, I see folks who knocked on doors for me back then in 2020. I see people who believed in me before any viral moments. I see people who believed that I could and would be different. I see the people that locked arms with me. Some of those elected officials that went out on a limb and endorsed me when nobody else would. You see, I didn't get anywhere on my own. Every step of the way has been with you. The people who have fueled this fire. You've chipped in your hard-earned money. Hey, donors, because I see some of y'all too. You put in this.
I see some of y'all too. What? I see some of y'all too. Were they another race? Were they in another category? Who were they? That I see some of y'all too. We about to see in a minute. I'm going to give you what she is in just a
You
second.
put in the sweat equity under the hot Texas sun, knocking on doors, putting out signs. You've driven your neighbors to the polls, dragged your coworkers to go vote. You're the ones who walk your precincts, register thousands of voters, and you're the ones who flip seats across the state at every level. When Texas turns blue, it won't be because of any one candidate, but because of each and every one of you doing your part. Turning Texas blue is what I want to talk to y'all about today. Now, there are those that say, ain't no way, we done tried it 50 kinds of ways. Let me be clear, y'all ain't never tried it the JC way. We used to telling us what I can't do, but they have no idea what Crockett's crew will do.
We done saw enough of this. We done saw enough of this. Jasmine Crockett, JC. JC stands for just crazy. That's what JC stands for. This woman is just crazy. Come on now. Oh, I see some of y'all too. She's running for United States Senate to represent Texas. Yeah, we'll see. If Texas turned blue, there would definitely be some boo-hooing going on in Texas. We don't think it's going to turn blue. We're allowing Democrats to be in the midst, but it's not going to turn blue. And I do not believe that we will have a Democratic senator leaving, headed to Capitol Hill out of Texas. So we're going to get on to the next video that she did. She did an interview with a colleague over at CNN. We're going to go over there and look at that conversation. It's going to be brief, but we're going to check that out.
I will tell you that our targets aren't necessarily those that consistently have not joined the movement known as the Democratic Party. It's not necessarily them that we're going after, but I do want to be clear that a lot of people continue to think that this is about policy, yet they can't really explain how it is that you have Mandami Trump voters, or how you have Obama Trump voters, or how you have AOC Trump voters. And the reality is that I think that that's where we are going to walk that fine line. We are going to be able to get people that potentially have voted for Trump, even though I obviously am one of his loudest opponents, because at the end of the day, they vote for who they believe is fighting for them, and it's about moving people. And so I think I've got a track record of doing that. I think people understand that when I sign up to go to D.C., it's always me taking the people with me. It's not ignoring their voices. And that's what we're going to do. So for all those that believe it's about which one is more moderate or which one is too far left, if you look at the actual numbers, not just polls, but real elections, then you will see that the crossover doesn't come because you decide to sound like a Republican. The crossover comes because you make people believe that you will fight for them.
How you make voters who previously have voted for Trump, particularly given that you have been an outspoken critic and he has inserted himself, just take your campaign video as is. He has inserted himself at every turn when it comes to your commentary. How will you convert those who are supportive of him to voters for you?
Yeah, I don't know that we'll necessarily convert all of Trump supporters. That's not our goal.
Do you need to?
Our goal is to definitely talk to people. No, we don't. We don't need to. Our goal is to make sure that we can engage people that historically have not been talked to, because there's so many people that get ignored.
You're in a red state campaigning as a Democrat to become a senator. How do you not need every vote? How do you go on a campaign trail and the first thing you say is certain people, you just don't need their votes? That is ludicrous. It is not wise, and is not the voice of a true candidate. It sounds like somebody that is on a mission for themselves and those who think like them, and that's it. It sounds like the rest will be left behind. They will not be even thought about. This is no way to start off your campaign. This is no way to start projecting to the masses, some of you I don't need. I don't need you. She's just
specifically
crazy.
in the state of Texas. Listen, the state of Texas is 61% people of color. We have a...
And always the race card. As long as I get all them black folks and them brown folks, I'm good. Like they all want to be Democrats. They all gotta be Democrats. That within itself is a slap in blacks and browns' face. You better be on the plantation. You better be a Democrat. Ludicrous. I don't think she got a snowball chance in hell.
Beto, who is a progressive, we know that he got 65% of the Latino vote. So what did they do after that? They specifically went after Latinos. We know that he got close to 90% or right there at 90% of the African-American vote. So honestly, what we need to do is start talking to the vast majority of Texas.
Well, it doesn't look like she knows what she's talking about. And how has she just forsook a group of people and said, I don't need your vote, instead of catering to everyone, asking everyone for their vote. You're supposed to be a unifier. But you clearly letting us know you're not trying to unify. You're trying to keep divided. And that's your campaign. We don't need you. Period. And that's a sad way to start your campaigning. Let's go over here and see what she does with Mr. Jake Tapper, the liar.
In our politics lead today, it was something of a down-to-the-wire decision for Texas Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett to run for re-election to her House seat or shoot for the U.S. Senate. The Congresswoman announced her bid for Senate on Monday, joining an already somewhat crowded Democratic field. Joining us now is Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. So congratulations on your announcement.
Thanks.
Your official announcement is just a video of you and an image of you while insults of President Trump of you play in the background. Why that decision? I mean, one of your opponents, Tallarico, he had a video, him with constituents, him with Texans. Why you solo?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. Number one, I wanted to do something different. Because number one, in order to flip the state of Texas, we're going to have to do something that we've never done. So I wanted to stay on brand with the fact that we would be different. I also wanted people to understand who the president sees as a real threat, and it is me. He also made it clear a number of times that he sees me as a leader. Those were his words, not mine. And so
she is delusional. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Does she really believe what she's saying? Donald Trump thinks she's a leader? She funny.
And so I wanted to do that. That's number one. Number two, I wanted to do a real announcement with actual people, nothing that was staged. I wanted the real people, and so it had to be in that moment. So I also wanted to make sure that we delivered a full speech that had all the substance there. So on that same day, if you were paying attention or if you were interested, you got the full meat of what it is that I want to do as the next senator in the state of Texas, as well as I did this with the people right there at home in my district.
So last night you told Laura Coates on this network that you don't need to get all the Trump voters in order to win the Senate seat, assuming you win the Democratic nomination. We should note President Trump won Texas pretty handily by about 14 percentage points. So you don't need every Trump voter, but you need a big chunk of them. Explain the math to me. How does any Democrat, but especially one who is progressive and outspoken. How do you win over Trump voters?
So this is what I want to tell you about. There's two things that we need to talk about that are separate things that I think both of them are necessary to win. Number one, we actually have to turn out more voters. If you do the research on the state of Texas, we typically rank the lowest in voter turnout period in the country. We've got to get that up. I want to say the most recent one that I remember, maybe a little over 50% of people turned out. When we looked at Georgia and
that's how you win. If you get all of the Texans to show up, you will never, ever win anything, young lady, period.
And we saw Georgia go blue, what they were able to do is they were able to get more people to participate. So that's number one. So for me, it was always about expanding the electorate. Number two, this is a great talking point that we've heard over and over and over, that maybe you need to sound like a Trumper so you can get Trumpers to be on board. But what we know is that there were Trump and Mondami voters. There were Obama and Trump voters. There were AOC and Trump voters. So a lot of people want to distill this down into something as simple as, oh, it's progressive or it's this. But the reality is that people vote for who they believe in. They vote for the people that they believe really care about bettering their lives. And what we know is apparent is that a lot of people have been turned off by Trump. When we look at Tennessee, I'm not asking you to look far north or over in California. When you look at the red state of Tennessee, he won that seat by over 20 points, yet it came within single digits. When you look at Mississippi, they flipped 2 Senate seats. When you look at Georgia on November 4th, they elected 2 Democrats statewide. So what I am saying is people are finally saying, you know what, even those that voted for Trump, because there's plenty that regret it. Yeah. And I think that those people would be more willing to listen at this point. But I think you've got to expand the electorate, and you got to talk to anybody who actually says, you know what, he played us.
And I got to say this. I don't know nobody, and I talk to a lot of Trump supporters. I don't know nobody who regret that they have voted for Donald J. Trump. That there, if there's any out there, that is a very, very, very small number. And especially the second go round. You think we didn't know from the first go round? Come on, people. Are you kidding me? Stop it. Stop pissing on us and telling us that it's raining. Because we're not going for it no more.
In a December 2024 Vanity Fair profile, you talked about, quote, and I'm going to read a lot of the quote just to put it in the context, quote, all the complexities within the Latino community. The immigration thing has always been something that has perplexed me about this community. It's basically like, I fought to get here, but I left y'all where I left y'all, and I want no more y'all to come here. If I wanted to be with y'all, I would stay with y'all, but I don't want y'all coming to my new home. It almost reminds me of what people would talk about when they would talk about kind of like slave mentality and the hate that some slaves would have for themselves. It's almost like a slave mentality that they have. Now, about the time that that was published last year, around 1 million Latino voters in Texas were voting for Trump. Do they all have slave mentality?
No, and that's not what that said at all, to be clear. It did not say that every Latino has that type of mentality.
No, but the ones that vote for people who believe in strong or Trump's immigration policies.
So I don't believe that the people that voted for Trump believe in what they're actually getting. That is number one. What Trump said is that he was going to kick out the bad guys. And that's what I was talking about. I've been down to the border.
Just so you'll understand, Ms. Crockett and anybody else out there. No, Donald Trump said he was getting rid of all illegal immigrants, but he was starting with the bad guys, those heinous crime-committing immigrants first. But guess what? We're looking for all. We understand he's looking for all illegal immigrants, especially those who've came in here within the past 5 years. During Biden's term, those are the ones we're looking for. Those are the ones that they are looking for. So it doesn't matter whether you have committed heinous crimes or not. But the focus is you to get you out of here. But we're going to take some of them other ones who don't have a right to be here. If you on our welfare, if you are on any of our programs and living for free, you got to go.
Been down to South Texas. I've campaigned down there. And so I am talking about exactly what was going on when I was down there on behalf of the Beto campaign. In fact, when he was running for governor, I was sent as a surrogate. And I said, talk to me about what is going on. Why is it that they believe that they can win Latinos down here? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And there were people that were saying that they had fought and they had done everything the right way, and that there were bad people that were coming that were doing it the wrong way. And so they were saying, no, we left. And I mean, when you think about people that are leaving asylum, they are leaving areas and situations that they feel like are harmful to them. So yes, they're like, no, I don't want to be in this dangerous situation. And that's what I meant. But at the same time, I knew what Trump meant, because Trump had a record. Trump had a record of locking up kids and putting them in cages. So I knew what Trump meant. And so that's why it wasn't making sense to me.
There you go with the word triggering. Donald Trump didn't lock anybody up, no children up in cages. And those cages that claiming that Trump used were cages that Barack Hussein Obama had built and used for immigrants during his deportation period. He was known as the porter and chief of his terms as president of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama. And the only thing Trump did was use those same facilities as he did his deportation. So you need to get off of it, girl.
And ultimately right now, I just came from a joint hearing that we were having on the Senate side. It's the Senate as well as the House. The first time I've had a joint hearing ever since I have been in the House. And I was listening to Latino American citizens that have been arrested by this regime. Some of those people may have voted for Trump. I don't know. But they agree that what he's doing now is wrong. And it's about right versus wrong and not right versus left. And he sold them a bag of goods. And I knew that that's what he was selling because I knew his record.
All right, Jasmine Crockett, we'll leave it there, but we know you'll come back and answer our questions as you always do.
Yes.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, fresh Senate candidate. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Donald Trump sold us a bill of goods, all right. He sure did. He sold us Make America Great Again. That's what he sold us. And that's what he's trying to do, is make America great again. So, and we're looking forward to that, and we're on the mission with him. We're on the mission with him. So let's see, Miss Crockett, what your run for the Senate may look like. Because I think it's going to probably look like this at the end of the day.
Political news to share. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has dropped her bid to lead the House Oversight Committee. Representative Crockett put her name in last month after former leader Jerry Connolly passed away, and the Dallas Democrat would have had influence over government efficiency and accountability. Crockett has been pushing Democrats to be more aggressive in opposing President Trump, but now says congressional leadership isn't aligned with her outspoken style.
I am going to gracefully bow out. I am going to pray for, good guidance and leadership of whomever ultimately is elected.
Jasmine Crockett drops out of that race to be a overseer, the head of overseeing committee. You know why she dropped out? Out of 213 possible votes, she got 6. The Democratic Party in Congress, the House, resoundingly rejected Jasmine full of crock. Because she's just crazy. And I don't know who told her she could run. Your own body of Democrats don't even support you. Who has told you you can win? I wonder now, how did you win the seats you did win? I believe that should be investigated. But that's neither here nor there. You got that seat. But 6 out of 230 voted for Jasmine Crockett, who claimed that she believes that Donald Trump, no, he said for himself that she was a leader, that she believed Donald Trump is scared of? Excuse me. I'm going to say it like this. Please, wake me the fuck up. If that's how you feel. So I hope that you all enjoyed this. And if you have, please like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, love you, be good one to another, and love on each other. Peace.